In this video, I'm going to share our experiences at the Wild Adventures Valdosta theme park, which is basically like a zoo, theme park, water park combo kind of crazy situation. And this is not a promotional video. Wild Adventures doesn't know that we're making this video. We paid for this trip out of our own money, so we can say whatever we want and really give you our opinions. And there were definitely some pros and some cons, but you don't need to just take our word for it. I'm going to share our point of view about this trip in this video, but then in the description below, I'm going to give you a link to go to our website, to the page for this video, where you can see reviews from other folks just like yourself. And you can even click a button and leave your own review directly onto our website and share your point of view if you've been to this park, all for free. So let's jump into what we thought about the Wild Adventures Valdosta. So as soon as you walk into the park, like the first thing that you notice is that it's really nice. Like they really have it set up very nice. It was nicer than I thought that I was going to get for the amount that we paid to get in. Like at the time of this videotaping, I think it was like $40 or $50 for each person to get in, which is less than half of what you're usually going to pay at most major theme parks. So it was just nice to see that, oh, this is pretty nice out here. There's features that are very appealing to the kids. They have this train that kind of goes around the park, and the train wasn't running that day, and they said that it wasn't broken. It was just they don't have the people to run it. Like they called in sick that day, so they might not have a whole lot of people. So we didn't get to see that part, but there's a lot of great things that we saw. So what I want to get into is what we felt were the 5 bestest parts of Wild Adventures Valdosta.
Number 1.
And one of the best things about Wild Adventures is just all the animals, and they kind of like a Busch Gardens type thing where the animals are kind of mixed in with all the roller coasters and rides. So it's kind of like a zoo. Is it a theme park? Am I riding things? Am I looking at crazy monkeys jump all about? You know, it's a lot of fun to have those animals in there. We're big fans of animals, so it's great to see the wide variety. They even have these lions that have been there since they were little cubs, and now they're giant old lions. And we'll talk more about some giraffe experiences in a bit, but it was great to see how close you could get to some of these animals. And they even had this giant alligator that was really big right under a roller coaster. So like you're already afraid, oh, I'm gonna fall out of this roller coaster because my feet are hanging down, but if I do, I land on an alligator. So it just makes it a little bit more thrilling of a ride kind of thing.
Number 2.
And our kids are kind of dinosaur nuts, so this dino part of the park was really great for us. They really had a great time.
And the dinosaurs really look real, like for whatever we think dinosaurs look like anyways, you know, and it just kind of let you get up close with different types of dinosaurs, and you could kind of walk through these paths. And when you get up close to a big old Spinosaurus that's actually moving, I mean, that's going to be a good time for the kids. And what's really cool is right behind this, there was this field that had like zebras and giraffes walking around back there, mixing together with the dinosaurs. And you just kind of walk through these different paths, read about the dinosaurs, look at the different dinosaurs, listen to your kid tell you about different facts about dinosaurs that you didn't know. And it was just a really good time for them to get to interact with that. They even had this really cool like fossil digging area where the kids could dig through the sand and like, Daddy, I found a dinosaur fossil. So they had a lot of fun going through all that.
And there was this guy that came out with like these baby dinosaurs. They were like little puppets, but they were realistic looking puppets. There was a good little deal. And the guy was really knowledgeable and nice and really got along great with the kids. And he knew what he was talking about with dinosaurs. My 8-year-old will put a hurting on you with knowledge about dinosaurs. And this guy was keeping up with him. So it was a really great time, and they really liked the dino section probably more than most of the rest of the park.
Number 3.
And beyond just the animals that you could look at, the interaction and education for animals they had. Some of these shows, you just walk right into the audience with them. You get to pet those. So sit up front if you have a show like that where you can get access to, I'm going to pet an alligator. I'm a crazy person. They had some great shows with tiger kind of things and where people can interact with that a little bit. And some great little experiences where, hey, I'm going to feed a giraffe and just buy these lettuce leaves for like $8 or something like that. And you get to feed the giraffe. So it costs a little bit more, but then there was things like this. We just walk by and pet a goat. They had this crazy alligator pit where you walk over this rope bridge like, I'm gonna fall in with a bunch of alligators. Of course you're not going to, but just a good experience for kids to see, like, oh wow, this is a crazy thing to do kind of a thing. They also had this little bird sanctuary where you go in and you can buy bird feed and you can feed them, and they was like jumping right into people's hands and just like, oh, I'm gonna feed this bird just because it's a good time. They had a normal petting zoo with goats and things like that. But they also had keeper talks where keepers would just kind of educate you, and they were really nice and knew what they were talking about and teaching you about different animals.
Number 4.
And the rides are really what take this place from the next level, from just a zoo to, hey, we're going to ride on rides and have a good time. And what was really great for us is they had a lot of rides that were really good for little kids, like these cars that would go and you could see turtles in these little houses. You know, that was kind of cool. But a lot of things that they could do on their own that were not too freaky. And then they could step it up a notch, and hey, here's some roller coasters for little kids. And they had those other roller coasters for bigger kids that we showed too, along with things that adults could enjoy as well, you know, like the Ferris wheel kind of thing. They have those sky things that go over and let you see, you know, the whole park from the sky view, and as well as things that are a little bit for bigger kids. You know, there's stuff for little kids, but stuff that a little bit of a bigger kid could enjoy as well. And then you take things, hey, we need to spin around a whole bunch, and we need to do some kind of ride that just makes us a little bit sick, and oh, I'm going to go ahead and step things up and get on something that's going to make me vomit on people that I never met before. So they had a lot of rides like that as well. It was a step up from a carnival where they had some scary things like this, but not as big of a deal as the major theme park. So about what you would expect for a park like this.
Number 5.
And what really makes Wild Adventures exceptional is they have a water park inside the park. So this park was included in the park access. You get to go in this park as well. And it wasn't just a little, hey, let's go in a little splash pool. This was a significant water park with like food and places that you could just hang out while the kids are out playing around. And when you walk through this, it seemed kind of like a town. Like it had its own little town that was a water park kind of town. And it was really cool was that they had animals within the water park where you could see these parrots and other things like that. And you would walk through there, and there was places like this where there was a big slide, but then right next to that was a little kiddie area where you see these bigger kids coming in from the big slides, but right next to that, these little tiny slides for little kids that included, like, you know, a splash pool with little fountains and things like that where we could run through, like I'm running through the sprinklers and stuff like that. Little tiny slides over there for kids. They have this great lazy river where you just get on an inner tube and go down the lazy river. They have the big play structures where I'm going to climb up here and get sprayed in the face while I'm going down these slides kind of a thing. But they also had some bigger slides. They had those, oh, my bathing suit's going to fall off while I go down this huge drop. They had the inner tube things, and they also had this really big wave pool that could get the big waves, and people could just hang out in the sun. So it was a wide variety of things in this really significant park that also had some significant water rides as well.
So the reality is that the week or so after we went to this Wild Adventure, we went to Disney's Animal Kingdom. And that, well, I'll tell you, that was a whole different level of experience. So if we had gone there first and then went to Wild Adventures the week after, we may not have been as impressed. But the reality was that, you know, it's a little easier to impress kids than it is an adult. So if you're going to impress yourself, you might not be as impressed. But the kids just had a great time. It was really not expensive. Everything was not crowded at all. It was very hassle-free. We ended up staying at an Airbnb that was like 2 miles away. So it took us like 3 minutes to get there. The parking was really simple. So that all made it very nice. It was a situation where we felt like we're definitely gonna come back here just because of the simplicity of the whole thing. We just had a good time. Plus, while we were there, they were building this section that's going to be like a campground where you camp with all the animals around you, and it just looks really cool. So when they open that, we'll go do that, and we'll make a video of that as well, but we're looking forward to that situation. So I didn't really view it like if I live in Seattle, I need to fly to Georgia so that I can go to this Wild Adventures, you know, but there really isn't much else around there. So if you're in that area, it's absolutely worth doing. And if you're going through that area, it's also absolutely worth doing. Just go in with the right expectations. It's not expensive, it's really not crowded, it's very convenient, and it was clean and nice enough to make us think, okay, we're gonna come back to that. So if you've been to Wild Adventures, click on the link in the description and go leave a review and let us know what you thought. We'd like to hear about it, whether it was good or bad. All right, we'll talk to you soon.